Doug, it's a pleasure to talk to you about Entourage. First of all, how was the reaction of the fans when they first saw the film? What was their expectations and how was it met?
I don't know what their expectation was, but the reaction's been incredible. The amount of social media comments I've gotten from people and how much they love it, and that we got it back to their favorite parts of the show, whatever that was. I think they've really responded to it. So.
Talking about social media, how do you think Entourage would have fared in the age of social media? Because obviously it was a little bit before it all started.
It would have been so good for us, I mean, HBO obviously is, making the best stuff on television, but still it would have been good to get to a wider audience, and especially since we had that kind of young demographic that maybe wasn't able to afford HBO at the time. We used to have large groups get together and watch the show together, so it would have been amazing to have this tool to get the word out about it.
People always have this misconception that the characters are really like the actors that portray them. Obviously it's not, but some people have similarities in what. So how do you feel, for instance, Adrian Grenier is similar to Vince Chase?
I mean, Adrian's probably the most similar because he's pretty that guy, very inclusive, very happy, doesn't seem to be bothered by much, But of course there are differences, and I think he's more concerned with his career than Vince has been in the past. But all of them have elements of their personality and their energies more than actual specifics, I don't think any of them are really like those guys, but obviously they embody it in a certain way.
Let's talk about Ronda Rousey and the kind of girl power that she brings to quite a testosterone-driven film.
Yeah.
So how was it? Was it written in that sense? Tell us a bit more.
I mean, Ronda, we came up with this idea, and Ronda, I mean, where she's gone from since we cast her almost 2 years ago to now is incredible. But we felt that she would just bring an awesome dynamic to it. She's got that incredible femininity to her, and then she'll kick everyone's ass on the set, so she's unreal. I mean, and easy to work with and very cool. So she just brought a great energy to it.
I love those fictional real storylines, like a real actress portraying herself, but in a fictional storyline.
Right.
How do you come up with those ideas, and what inspires them?
Everything from real stuff to just throwing ideas around and making it up. But a lot of what's in the movie and was on the show is based on reality and based on stories that have happened to somebody, either that we're friends with or one of us. So we use a lot of stuff that actually happens.
So are you the kind of director and writer that people want to tell stories to about Hollywood, or quite the opposite, so that you don't put it in?
No, they, Hollywood fortunately has always embraced the show and was very big fans of it. So I'm every day I have producers or agents telling me, oh, I got to tell you this, you got to put this in and you got to put this in. So that's always fun.
And do you observe around you and do things, attract your attention more than others?
Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think I've always been the observing guy. I'm not an entourage guy, so I'm not a guy who would have 14 guys with me all the time or whatever. So I am a listener, and that's what I do.
Throughout the years, it's also been a love letter to Hollywood and how Hollywood is, with the good and the bad. Is that how you feel about the industry as well? Do you feel like it's completely and properly represented?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a very, even it's funny, like with the movie being released now, we're living an episode and we see how true to reality what the stuff we do on the show is. And it's a tough business, and it's hard to have the friends there, and I think that's why people relate to the show, because they have this core group of guys that even with all the crap around them, they will always look out for each other more than anything else. So,
does it become ever confusing to make a movie about a movie?
Yeah, everything becomes confusing. And we actually talked about making the movie that's in the movie hide. And so would Vincent Chase start it? Would Adrian Grenier start it? Or would we get somebody else? So it becomes very meta, very weird all the time, yeah.
And because you always have inspiration for ideas, etc., Entourage goes on tour and all these things, would you do a sequel? Would you be open to it?
If people go see it, we'll go do a sequel. It all depends on what the market for it is. We love doing it. It's a joy to do. We love working with each other. We're at home shooting in sunny California, so it's a fun place to be.
Tell us about Mark Wahlberg's involvement. Obviously, he's always been the silent godfather for the series. You have him a little bit more in here. So tell us a bit about Mark and chaperoning all of this.
Mark's the best, and Mark's always been, a great supporter. We initially started off, it's obviously inspired by his life, but Mark kind of said, use what you want in my life and use whatever not. So there was lots of things brought into it. As far as the movie goes, Mark called me and said, where's the script, And I said, what script? I wasn't even thinking we were doing this movie. He said, every press junket I'm doing, they're asking, where's the Entourage movie? So he said, "Get the script done, I'll get the money." So that's what happened, and he was a great, in the truest sense, a producer who really got this movie going. So.